everybody. Sorry about that. I got a little bit into the intro and I was kind of grooving out. Oh god, it's happening again. No, it's not. Ooh, the stream isn't muted. That's a problem. And now it's not. Hello and welcome to TTWA for a special broadcast. Because the T1 Clawmax is coming for a really long time, and I figured maybe if I had the free time, I could probably throw in a couple special broadcasts. So we're gonna go through bracket B. Of course, I have made matches. So dope, dippity dop, dope in the dope spot. OBS went away. OBS come back. I love you. TTWA. Give it a sec for the game to show up. Games have to show up, so we start to pray. Question what we did to make God hate us such. I don't know if anyone... Hey, there we go. Last night, I streamed and had similar issues. Let's hope it is not the beginning of a trend. Can you hear this game? Because I sure can't. Why can't I hear this game? My god, what is it with this game and audio? Oh, I didn't even think about it, but I cannot hear this game for shit right now. Play the noise. Do noises. So here's the weird thing with this game. Is that I have to mute everything. and that, maybe muting is wrong. I have to disable at least my television. There we go. Oh my god. There we go. Oh my god. No, I don't want to update. Remind me later. Okay, cool. So, if you don't remember bracket B, oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so I just need to swap those two. Okay, so if you weren't here for Friday or Wednesday, because no one's ever here for Wednesday. So, last Wednesday, oh, shit. We had a little hiccup here with Beedrill and Savage won their matches, and then Sunil and Hartley didn't. So now we have two four-way ties. This bracket could also do the same thing because we're in the same exact positioning, points-wise. However, it's not gonna be as simple because Brian Pillman isn't actually going up against David Starr or Chavo Guerrero. He's going to be going up against Martin Burns, and that's going to happen first. Then we have Neptune Man versus David Starr. That will probably be pretty good. King Corn Karn versus Hardcore Holly. Going to happen last. And then before that, it's going to be Chavo and Ray. So we got stuff. I kind of moved the matches around a little bit just so we could have more, like, more or less. I can't talk right now. I did move the matches around a little bit just so we can maybe hopefully have different points for once, because both brackets have been the same. But anyway, let's start. Well, I turned this down. You probably heard that, and I do apologize. We await the beginning. No word from the commissioner, as it is a special show. He is in the room. He's looking at me very sleepily. He's kind of been a grump today, so we're just going to let him do him. And hey, look, it's Brian Pillman, undefeated so far in this tournament. Defeated before, though. He didn't have that high of a record before this show. Before this tournament. Now he's turning it all around. He's doing what Kenny Omega needed to do and is doing. We haven't seen or heard from Kenny Omega since we were discussing how maybe he needed to take a hiatus. Hopefully he does come back, but that's up to the rando to decide. Martin Burns, match of the night last week. Very, very impressive showing. He lost to King Corn Karn, but still, he's still my favorite wrestler in this tournament. I'll just say it. He's wonderful. And he gets taken down by Brian Pillman. Punch to the head from Pillman. Martin Burns taking down Pillman. Trying to go for take him down by the legs there. Going for that weird armbar, I think, or roll-up pin that him and Sunil really like. Just the takedown of the leg right there. Doesn't really capitalize on it. Just trying to get takedown. I think trying to get points. Now, Brian Pillman, I believe, does actually have an amateur wrestling background. If not, like, I know it's probably not college, but definitely high school. As he body slams, Burns outside the ring. Burns now understands that that's not an instant disqualification, which is good because he did not know that before. We had to have a long talk with him and explain how all these things have changed since he died in the 50s. So anyway, Martin Burns getting snapmared now. Coincidentally, Martin Burns, he is showing a lot of in-ring knowledge when it comes to moves that didn't exist in his lifetime. We asked him, like that takedown right there, we asked him, what is your, how are you doing this? And he told us that his teacher is the same as Banjo. We don't know who that is, but it's the same teacher. He actually says him and Banjo are good friends, and they're really disappointed that they were in separate brackets. I don't know why Martin Burns and Banjo are good friends, but you know what? Screw it. Whatever. Oh, he knows how to box. Brian Pillman knows how to box. It is as he throws Martin Burns outside the ring one more time. Burns now taking Brian Pillman down, maybe a little bit tired of getting thrown out. Goes for the first submission hold of the night, and he finally gets that roll up. He only gets a 0 count with it though, as it is a little early in this match for roll ups. Goes for it again, just trying to tire his opponent out. I think he's doing it more to himself. Headlock takedown there. Brian Pillman, just a lot of snapmares, just a lot of takedowns, a lot of feeling each other out, which is actually, we don't normally see, like normally I say they're feeling each other out, they are really feeling each other out in this match. Pillman now, shot to the head, Burns, snapmare now going after that leg one more time. He has seen, this is the third match for these competitors, so they all know how each other wrestles by this point, or at least have a rough idea of it, so you can kind of see that Pillman's maybe trying to take down the leg of Farmer Burns is trying to take down the leg of Pillman, because Pillman is a high flyer. Pillman has not used any of that. He's actually been fairly grounded, fairly technical this showing. Maybe out of respect for Martin Burns, it is possible that he is. Pillman once got in trouble for a wrestling promo skit. In which he pulled out a gun and shot it at Stone Cold Steve Austin. Farmer Burns would know a lot about shooting, as, he did this for his work the whole adult life. What I'm trying to say is when I was looking up research about Farmer Burns through my co-host, my cell phone, Martin Burns was a legitimate wrestler. And by that I mean, so wrestling history time with Totem Chaucer. Yay. So, there was a group of wrestlers, I want to say probably in the 50s, maybe a little bit earlier, like the 30s or so, somewhere in like the first half of the century, of the 20th century, called the Gold Dust Trio. And they are the reason wrestling is a work. Martin Burns wrestled before them. So, Martin Burns taking a DDT. Hopefully that one wasn't a legit one, as Brian Pillman with the body splash too. No. Now, so Martin Burns was a legitimate wrestler. Like, he was not a pro wrestler. He was a, like, legitimate, like, him and another dude would just grapple in the ring for fucking hours, because that's how long legitimate wrestling matches used to take. But anyway, Martin Burns getting him onto position, getting out of it. This has been all Brian Pillman, which is honestly really surprising here. Now Burns starting to kind of try maybe hit a couple more submissions, trying to wear down Brian. Brian's starting to get a little bit more comfortable, starting to get up in the air here. Burns going to roll him up, not going to get anything more than a 1 count. Now, as we mentioned on Wednesday, Pillman's in the lead. Technically, he's tied with Hardcore Holly right now. But if he can win this match and Holly loses his match, Pillman will have a buffer. He will have a buffer that means that he can win or he can lose at least one match before anyone catches up to him. Now, I'm sure he won't want to use that buffer, but he will have it. Meanwhile, if Martin Burns wins, he gets put into a 3-way tie technically for first place. So I believe it's Burns can do it, and oh my god, we might have a bigger fucking 3-way tie. I just realized this because let me look at these matches here. Okay, so the people who could be in tied for first, Pillman would have to lose, and it would be Pillman, Burns, Neptune Man. No, Neptune Man. Yeah, Pillman, Burns, and Neptune Man. Then it would have to be Karn would have to beat Hardcore Holly, and Ray would have to beat Chavo. So we could have a 5-way. We could have a 5-way tie for first. Which technically is different than 4, I guess, but still not much better. Okay, now let's see here. Burns now has Pillman in the corner. He looks tired though. Pillman's definitely going to do a good job of wearing him out. He's going to go for the submission. That's just going to be to kind of give him a breather. It's a lot easier to catch your breath when you're lying on top of a dude. Believe me, I know. So that's going to be what his strategy is going to be here as he kind of starts to wear down. Pillman not going to let him do that. Pillman has the more stamina than Martin Burns as he hits that jumping lariat there. Pillman up on top rope with Burns. Burns throwing him off. Burns getting off the top rope doesn't realize that you can jump off that and not be disqualified. Burns too tired to actually hit anything, to capitalize in any single way. Pillman now body splash. 1, 2, 3. Burns just barely kicking out of it. Burns needs to get a little bit better about that. Needs to get back in the zone. Headlock takedown. This in the ropes. Goes for a leg drop. Now, there will only be one match of the week. So, any one of these matches could beat out Wednesday's match. As he goes for a takedown there, gets locked into a headlock. Pillman, once again, knowing his submissions actually fairly well. Able to outclass Martin Burns here. Martin Burns now. Ooh, underhooked suplex from Pillman. Pillman now. Beautiful dropkick. Chop to the chest, misses. Pillman now with the pile driver. No, Styles Clash. Different. Pillman taunting to the crowd. He apparently believes he firmly has Martin Burns where he wants him. Burns getting right back up after that dropkick, though, going for the headlock takedown. Burns now in control. Burns needs to do something. Needs to swing this in his favor like yesterday, honestly. Brian Pillman with the Russian leg sweep. Pillman goes for the top rope. Hits a beautiful body splash, and I think that's going to be it. 2. No, ooh, Burns kicks out of it. Burns now octopus stretch into a pinfall. Pillman swinging neckbreaker. Kick to the back of the head, brutal. Picking up Farmer Burns now. 2? No, only a 2 count. Goes for the leg, sweeps it again. Takedown, gets mounted. No, man, Pillman knows his way around MMA. That is impressive. I would like to see both of these two in a tournament title tournament. Though that I feel like that would be incredibly interesting. It would be neat to see which one of these guys could take down the champion Balrog in an MMA tournament. Here we got Farmer Burns now. Got a headlock on Brian Pillman. Pillman now with the body slam. We only have 10 minutes left. Like I said last Wednesday, we could have a draw, and then both competitors get 1 point, and Pillman would still technically be in first, but he wouldn't have a buffer win like he did. Suplex from Brian Pillman. Chops to the head from Farmer Burns. Burns taunting the crowd. Maybe not a good idea. As he hits Pillman with a belly to back and locks in a camel clutch. That's an interesting idea. Able to get out of it. Guy Fieri notices he's in the ropes. Burns getting thrown into the ropes. Pillman with a arm drag takedown. Burns with an arm drag takedown, rubbing his elbow right in the head of Brian Pillman there. Brian Pillman able to get out of that. Brian Pillman with the leg sweep. Can't talk right now. Which is great because I'm, commentating a match. Pillman with the body press. 2. That's it. 3. Pillman takes the lead. So that's interesting because we have a breakout now. We cannot have more than a two-way draw for first. It is impossible. So check it, right? In the first bracket, this is what we did this is what we did this Wednesday. We have this log jam, right? Because all the people who went up against, everyone who needed to win to make sure that the bracket pretty much got reset, won. So now next Wednesday, this is going to break apart, but it's going to break apart in different ways because we thought that it would be either Sunil or Savage, who were the leaders going into Wednesday, would break out, much like Brian Pillman just did. So Pillman could be the leader of B bracket. Hardcore Holly would need to lose his match against, I believe it's King Corn Karn, who beat Martin Burns, who just lost to Pillman. So we could actually see a breakout star, but we would need to see Hardcore Holly lose to King Corn Karn. That could still happen, but we have to go to our second match, which is, I believe, it is, excuse me, let me go back to the B bracket. Neptune Man has not faced David Starr. Cool. So yeah, it would be Neptune Man versus David Starr. So Neptune Man could get tied for second, or David Starr could finally get a win under his belt and get tied for third. Let's see what happens. So mathematically, because this is a 8-man round robin tournament, mathematically you can't lose 8 points to a competitor. You just can't do it, or else you're out. David Starr needs to win this match, because if he loses, he only has one more week before he's eliminated, because now that Brian Pillman has 6 points, Pillman needs to win one more, and everyone who has 0 points is out. Right now, that's only David Starr and Chavo Guerrero, but both of them obviously are going to look in the next 2 matches to fix that. But if David Starr were to come up short here and then come up short next week, and Brian Pillman were to win, David Starr would find himself in a bad place. It's even worse if Hardcore Holly wins, because now David Starr doesn't have to worry about just Brian Pillman winning. He has to worry about Hardcore Holly. If I don't have the matches made for next week, but if I were to do Brian Pillman versus Hardcore Holly, which I don't think will happen. They're on opposite ends of the bracket. I think that's actually probably going to happen at the end, like opposite ends of the round robin little grid style thing. If that were to happen, though, it would definitely be do or die for Starr and Chavo. But we don't have that right now. We have Starr potentially getting the first points on the board for himself here as he hits a clubbing blow to Neptune Man. Neptune Man from Ultimate Muscle. David Starr from Jewish Parents. And we see David Starr with the elbow to the back of the very, very thin torso Neptune Man. Neptune Man, one of those, oddly enough, Neptune Man from the Japanese anime, to everything in English. David Starr, the British, like, he's not even British. I think he's American and wrestles in Britain. Um, he, his name's Japanese. I don't know, man. Japanese wrestling communities are weird. Anyway, so because I don't expect them to. I don't think I have like a single Japanese person sign like on this game save with their name in Japanese, except for maybe like a handful of them, right? But like all the Japanese names I have are all like white dudes. Like it's super weird. Like my Mike Elgin is Japanese, and I don't get like it was the only good one at the time, which there is no such thing as a good Mike Elgin, but he was only good one at the time, so I was just kind of like, oh sure. David Starr kicking out the back leg of Neptune Man. Neptune Man getting a belly to back suplex now, and David Starr going after the leg. David Starr with a lot of aggressiveness. He needs that. He needs that to win this tournament because he's not been performing very well the past 2 weeks as he gets a kick right to the back. Now, I do believe one of those matches was against Brian Pillman. I think that other match was against Ray. I think it was Ray Hechera. Yeah, I think it was. So, you know, not great. Low blow. So that he maybe didn't get like the best of the bracketing. I think Neptune Man actually lost last week. No, Neptune Man won last week. He beat Chavo. He beat Chavo. So no, he didn't. Who did he beat? Did he beat Ray? He might have actually beaten Ray. I don't remember my matches, guys. Anyway, David Starr, elbow to the back of Neptune Man. Neptune Man back up. David Starr chopped to the chest. This has been all David Starr. He kicks out the leg from underneath the leg of Neptune Man. Elbow to the back of the neck here. Can't get the back of the head. Neptune Man way too tall. Neptune Man going to the top rope. Elbow drop from onto David Starr from Neptune Man. Dragging him into that corner, or out of that corner. So here's the interesting placement of Neptune Man. He's on the inside of that ring, which means he has control of the ring right now. David Starr is going to be on the back pedal. Now he could, if he wanted to, like right there, David Starr did kind of Irish whip and switch it out. Ring positioning isn't as important in normal TTWA matches as it would be in, say, a UFC match. But it's still something good to note that you can, if your back is to the ropes, you can be put into bad positions. Whereas if your back is always to the ropes, but you understand what I mean. If you're not in that center position that David Starr is right now, you want to be. As you see, Neptune Man now has switched with that super kick. That was a beautiful super kick. And neck or jawbreaker. Both men down. Only 8 minutes into this match, and these two have just been beating the hell out of each other. This is not the technical match that was Brian Pillman versus David Starr. This is Brian Pillman versus Martin Burns. This has just been two dudes just beating the hell out of each other. David Starr looking tired now. Throws a very big punch, and David Starr gets under it. That had to be a big dodge. Neptune Man with that jawbreaker again. 2 and 2.9. David Starr getting out of it just in time. These two men beating the hell out of each other. I was watching the stream on an accident. Referee got hit. Guy Fieri is busted open again. We need to stop busting open the ref. I cannot keep, my cat cannot keep paying him. He gets paid extra every time he gets busted open because it's unfair. Anyway, lariat from Neptune Man. Neither man taking advantage of the referee being down. It was definitely just an accident here. David Starr right in those ropes, so that pinfall wasn't going to matter regardless if the referee was up or not. But still, got to be in the back of Neptune Man's mind. Neptune Man wasn't aware that David Starr was in those ropes in the beginning of the pinfall. He probably wasn't aware at the end of it, so he's probably thinking that he could have had something. Maybe he was trying to use the referee's distraction, or referee as a distraction. He says beautiful discus lariat. They were on top of each other, technically a pin. Guy Fieri, maybe a little blood in his eyes. Olympic slam from David Starr, not going for the pinfall here. Elbows to the head of Neptune Man, locking Neptune Man into a sharpshooter now. Neptune Man slowly making his way to the ropes. Guy Fieri checking to see, being very unbiased, as it was technically David Starr who threw Neptune Man into him. Neptune Man with the lariat, too tired though to capitalize on it, as he just kind of stands there tired, giving David Starr some opportunity to get up. Irish whips him, hits that big punch that David Starr ducked previously. David Starr throwing some mad elbows right into the head of Neptune Man. Neptune Man throwing David Starr out of the ring. Taunting to the crowd, not going for a count-out victory. Neptune Man getting put in a bad position. Elbow to the back from David Starr. David Starr now in control here. Neptune Man with the DDT, though, equalizing. Both men down. Who's going to be the first man up? Neptune Man is... He's tired, though. He needs to finish this, like, now, and so does David Starr. Oh! Oh, just ran right into David Starr, using that height, using that weight, using those really, really defined muscles. Neptune Man swinging neckbreaker. 1, 2, is this it? No! David Starr, 2.9, just barely gets out of that. And like I said, David Starr needs to win. He does not have a tournament, or he does not have a win in this tournament, and he needs one because the point gap is getting to a point where he will just be mathematically eliminated from this tournament. Brian Pillman does have 6 points now, we know. Brian Pillman only needs 2 more points to eliminate David Starr, who has 0. That would kind of come with the condition that David Starr loses this match and next week's match. But it's still possible that Pillman, or, you know, if Starr loses this match, he won't, you know, be eliminated. He might be able to pull out a win next week. Pillman might lose next week. We don't know. But Pillman hasn't lost yet in this tournament. So, super kick from Neptune Man. Neptune Man going for the kill here. 2, 3. That's it. David Starr is in dangerous territory. Neptune Man from Ultimate Muscle. Neptune Man, I think, is... No, he's not the only fictional character in this tournament. He's the only fictional character in this bracket. Weirdly enough, the brackets, which were randomly selected, ended up where there was only really... Because here's A ranking, and... No, Beedrill's in here. I forgot. Beedrill and Banjo are fictional characters. But in bracket B... Oh, and King Corn Karn's there, too. Okay, yeah, so there's 2 fictional characters in every single... in each one. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. What's really interesting now is David Starr's lost a match. So next week, if Brian Pillman wins and David Starr loses, David Starr's mathematically eliminated from the tournament. He cannot win it. He can only hope to tie, which I guess technically if he ties, then he has to fight Pillman. So he's not out of the woods, or he's not deep into the woods that he can't find his way out of the woods yet, but it's not looking great. So we see Neptune Man now joining for a second place tie. Now Hardcore Holly still hasn't wrestled tonight. He does have to wrestle King Corn Karn down here. So King Corn Karn could come away with a win. And Brian Pillman would be the breakout of this tournament. As you see in bracket A, it has not happened yet. But in bracket B, it has. Yay! But now we have to actually see what our other 0 place is. Chavo Guerrero. He has to go up against Ray Hechicero? Listen, I just downloaded him. I don't know what his name was. I'm in bracket A. Gotta go to bracket B. Ray and Chavo. It would be over here. Yeah. So this is also must win for Chavo. Chavo could find himself in the David Starr spot, which is that he doesn't have, next week is going to be do or die for him, and it might not even be up to him. Throwing some punches Ray's way. Ray throwing some punches back. Now both of these people, Mexican wrestling legends. Chavo probably less, but then again, I have no idea who Ray is, other than I think he's currently like a CMLL champ right now. But go Chavo, I guess. Chavo using that fork. He's used that every single one of his matches. Ray not busted open, but he's busted open every single one of his opponents. One of those opponents being Hardcore Holly, who is potentially going to be tied for first again. Now both men throwing some shots at each other. Chavo getting elbowed in the head. Chavo throwing some punches right into the gut of Ray. Ray getting behind Chavo. Chavo going for a running bulldog. Ray now locking in a arm submission there into this weird Gogo Plata-like move. I have not figured out a name for it, but he does like it a lot. He does use it most of his matches. Ray with amazing power slam. Oh, and Ray using a lot of submissions here on Chavo, which is interesting. Not who I would anticipate it as a submission wrestler. In fact, in his other matches, really wasn't that submission based as he back body drops Chavo to the outside. Ray not going to let Chavo get a count out loss here, I guess. Not going to go for that count out victory. Probably realizes it's too early for it anyway. Doesn't want to end up like Tyson Kidd, who lost via count out in the first match of the tournament. That would probably be bad, wouldn't it, Kat? The commissioner's here. Hello, commissioner. Hold up, let me see if I can get you on camera. Oh, no, never mind. Commissioner walked away. That's fine, too. Chavo used that fork on Ray while we weren't paying attention. The commissioner didn't see it, so he can't find Chavo. Ray is busted open. Now he's going to have that blood seeping underneath its mask. That's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to get on his head. Literally and figuratively, he's going to have blood literally like on his head. He's not going to be able to focus very well. His vision is already kind of impaired from the mask. It's going to be even more impaired now. Because there's not going to be a whole lot of place for that blood to go. When it's on like a normal head, it can kind of go down your entire head. In the mask, it's going to kind of, like the seams of the mask are going to kind of, it's going to soak it up and then it's going to drip out like the opening, which is going to be the eye holes, depending on where the cut is, most likely on the forehead. So that was a good move by Chavo, busting up Ray there. It's gonna impair, like I said, it's gonna give Chavo a huge advantage. It's cheating, but honestly at this point Chavo needs a win, so I get it. Double leg takedown there from Ray. Ray now chop to the back of Chavo. Chavo going for a chop, misses it. Chavo going for a bulldog, misses that too. I think he might have gotten it there a little bit because he was the first man up after he got suplex there from Ray. Ray now throwing in an ankle lock, getting kicked out of it. Notice how Ray isn't really moving a lot. He gets up, he just stands there. Lets Chavo come to him. He's saving energy. Chavo is expending energy. Now Chavo is the more, he's the smaller wrestler, so he's going to have more energy. He's going to take less energy to move. He's more finesse based, working in an American cruiserweight style. I like I said, I'm not familiar enough with Ray's work to know how he works. As he goes for a beautiful running knee. Honestly, he's impressed me. I should really look him up one of these days as he gets his knee driven into the mat from Chavo. Chavo goes for a pinfall. Ray getting into the ropes. Ray now going for bare naked ladies. Going for a naked chokehold, rear naked chokehold here. Chavo now torture rack onto Ray. It's going to be hard for him to get to the ropes there. He is going to... Oh, no. Chavo just decides to add insult to injury here. Deadlift suplex from Ray. Ray now dragging Chavo. Locking up his legs into a lasso from El Paso. Which is ironic. And I think that was a sit-down lasso from El Paso. Up Gory Bomb now from Chavo. He's used this a couple times and never really seems to get the win with it, but it's possible we can here. He's going to go for the pinfall. The commissioner has joined me. Hello, commissioner. No, 2.9 from Chavo. The commissioner is coming up. So we better get this party started. He's coming up. We better. I'm gonna be the commissioner. One sec, let's get you on camera. Two, three. That was it. Chavo got away with the victory, Commissioner. How do you feel about that? So regardless of what happens next week, Chavo will not be mathematically eliminated from this tournament like David Starr might be. The Commissioner is very excited about it. He's a very big Chavo Guerrero fan. You want to see the main event now? Yeah? You do? It probably won't be the main event. We'll probably have another time for another Balrog Invitational, but so yeah, look at that. Chavo getting a win. So he's now tied for four-way tie for third. Now Hardcore Holly, if Hardcore Holly loses to King Corn Karn, There will be a three-way tie for second and a three-way tie for third, with David Starr being in last all by himself. Isn't that sad, Fifi? Is that sad? It's so sad. Meanwhile, we have a Hardcore Holly match. I know. Aren't you excited? I'm excited. Everyone's excited for Hardcore Holly. Isn't that right, Fifi? He's dancing. This is how the commissioner talks in interpretive dance. Except for me. To me, he just talks, and I hear it. But you don't, because I'm a psychopath. Anyway, I'm going to go away now. I'm going to send this commissioner on his way. He really is in a grumpy mood today. And I'm going to disappear. Goodbye. And I'm back. King Corn Karn making his way to the ring. King Corn Karn, I don't really know what to expect from this guy, because the first round, terrible, looked bad, wrestled bad, lost. Expected him to be one of the many, like, 0-pointers. Second match versus Martin Burns, blows the roof off the damn joint. He got match of the week. He won. Martin Burns has been losing. It's on losing streak lately, so that's something to be worried about. But, like, yeah, King Corn Karn, I don't know what to expect from this guy. Hardcore Holly has won both of his matches. One of those being against Chavo, the other one being up against somebody. I don't remember who. So he gets just a brutal chop. I think it was Neptune Man. Gets a brutal chop to the head now. Suplex from Hardcore Holly. Body slam. Both men test the strengths here. Hardcore Holly gonna get the advantage there. Elbow to the brain of man, a lot of just quick strikes getting thrown here. Both men reset. Hardcore Holly going for a drop kick, roundhouse kick from King Corn Karn. They both miss each other. Hardcore Holly now locking in a really quick camel clutch. Not really going to do anything. Didn't even get it really cinched in there. Beautiful Hardcore Holly drop kick from Hardcore Holly. Body slam to the outside now, and King Corn Karn's going to meet him out there. These two dudes got chairs. They're hitting each other with the chairs. Hardcore Holly nailing. Look at these chairs. Yeah, they're using the whole can't get disqualified outside the ring thing, as they're just brawling out there. Hardcore Holly wailing on King Corn Karn with chairs now. Hardcore Holly gets a fourth chair. The fifth chair has been introduced. Hardcore Holly, they both come in at 13. Hardcore Holly drops the chair. Guy Fieri going to get it away from him. 5 chairs introduced 2 minutes into this match. As King Corn Karn now taking down Hardcore Holly. Hardcore Holly going for a lariat, missing it. King Corn Karn, I'm just going to call him Karn King. I'll call him one of the 3 of his names. Going for a body slam. Punch to the gut from Holly, starting to get this in his favor, which is good. He needs it. Hardcore Holly now with the vertical suplex onto Karn. Karn getting slammed. Holly now in control, pacing around, waiting for Korn to get up. Korn getting elbow to the knee. Roundhouse kick, jumping roundhouse kick to Holly. Was able to get him out of that drop kick. Now Hardcore Holly locking in this camel clutch. Able to get it cinched in a little bit better this time. Not really all that good, though. Karn now dropping some knees right on the small of Holly's back. He knows that Holly's finisher, the Alabama Slam, requires a lot of lower back strength, so he's going after that early as these two just start sharing strikes, just beating the hell out of each other. We're 4 rounds into this match, and there we go. Holly now just pounding away on Karn, slaps him off. These two are just beating the hell out of each other. Double Mongolian chop from Karn to Holly. Karn getting Irish whipped. Holly with the Alabama Slam already. Go for the pinfall. 1, 2... No, Karn able to get out of that at kind of an early-ish 2 count, as definitely early for the match, but kicked out shortly after the 2. He still had a lot of time there as Holly hits a drop kick on Karn. Both men just down already, just throwing bones at each other. Karn now, what is that? That was cool, and if I ever start wrestling, I'm using that. Karn going for a vertical suplex. Holly has it, though. Slams Karn, both men down after beating the piss out of each other. Oh, they did this thing again. They both jumped for kicks and missed each other. Holly really likes his drop kicks, as he should. They're beautiful. Chops to the chest in the corner. Holly has nowhere to go. Karn's just chopping away at his chest. Going to the top rope is Karn. Once he got planned, a double knee drop. Holly's able to get out of it. Lands all of that on his knees. That's going to hurt. That's going to hurt his verticals badger. And he hits the bookend on Holly now. Karn, elbow to the head. Gets Irish whipped. Holly, no! Karn just runs his knee right into Holly's nose and locks in the Brock lock. Holly kicks Karn in the head. Holly goes for the pinfall. 2. No, Karn able to get out of it. Karn has not gotten Holly in a pinfall predicament. Holly has. Holly able to get up on that drop kick a little bit faster. Both of these guys just keep going for their jumping kicks. Karn thrown to the outside. What's Holly gonna do? Is Holly gonna go for a suicide dive? Oh no, he isn't. He thought better of it. He is going outside. Karn's got chairs. Karn's whacking chairs. 6 chair introduced into this map. Alabama slam onto the chairs. Holly picks up his 7th chair. It's just a pile of chairs out there. We're at the 13 now. Karn able to get back into the ring. Holly able to get back in at 15. Karn now, vertical suplex on the Holly. Those 2 chair shots seem to have given him kind of the advantage. Leg drop onto Holly. Karn looks tired, though, as he should be. These two are just beating the hell out of each other. Misses a bicycle kick. Holly with the sidewalk slam, trying to get momentum back in his favor, as it has been most of this match. Drop kick to Karn. Karn is down onto that steel chair. Karn kicks to the gut. Another bookend from Karn. Too tired to capitalize on it, however. That's interesting to note. Holly, though, stunned, gets a chop to the back of the head. Karn now can capitalize on it. Drags him in the middle of the ring. Goes for a pinfall. Is it going to be it? 1, 2... No, Holly able to get out of that as well. Holly now with an atomic drop right on the King Corn Karn. Going to drag him into the side of the ring. Probably going to go for a pinfall. Yes, he is. 1, 2. No, Karn able to get out of that. Karn might, that's still going on. Karn might actually be getting a two match of the weeks in a row. As he does a leg drop on the Hardcore Holly. Slaps at the chest. Hardcore Holly, Alabama slam to King Corn Karn. Out of nowhere was that Alabama slam. Holly can't put Karn away, though. Karn throwing Holly to the ropes. Karn now, both competitors just running right into each other. Bad planning on both of their parts. Both men down. Mongolian chops from King Corn Karn. That beautiful, like, crotch uranagi. Karn's too tired, though. Oh, dodges that drop kick. Holly able to get a headbutt on Karn, though. Grabbed him by the head so he couldn't dodge it. Is he gonna... No! Goes to the top rope, hits the double knees. Both men are down. Running powerbomb, or running body slam. Oh! Just jumped right into that bicycle kick as Holly was running at him. Oh, that lariat might have taken him down. We do have criticals on. No one's gotten it yet, I think. I think actually, you know what? I think Holly did get a critical. But yeah, shit. They're striking now. Holly, Karn. Drop kicks from Holly. Karn gets right back up and just throws a big boot right in Holly's jaw. Karn getting thrown into the turnbuckle here. Holly going after him, just mounts some punches right on Karn. Karn falls. Alabama slam right into that turnbuckle. Holly needs to get him away from those ropes, but he might have just put it away. 1, 2, 3. Holly has made sure that Brian Pillman does not get too far ahead, and also just made David Starr's life a little bit scarier. I'm just circling that so I know that was match of the week. Okay, so here's the deal now. David Starr needs to be worried. If he loses his match next week, and either of these two win their matches, he's screwed. Now, there's really not a lot of match options left. We'll see Martin Burns versus Neptune Man finish up this top section. King Corn Karn can really go up against any of these guys except for... So he might actually beat Brian Pillman. Or Chavo. That's pretty much who he has to face next week. So I want to see who David Starr is going to be wrestling. So let's look at David Starr. His next match would be King Corn Karn, which is possible. We could do that. So he's already wrestled Pillman. So he has no input on if Pillman wins next week. We could have him go up against Hardcore Holly. But I feel like that's too far out there. And Holly's probably going to go up against... Yeah, he's probably going to go up against Burns, I think. I don't know. I have to figure these matches out. But we have a open challenge to get to. So Balrog lost his open challenge last week. He lost it. He didn't lose it. See, the Balrog open challenge is you get you get 5 minutes with the champion Balrog in a UFC match. If you win, if you survive the 5 minutes, you win, and you get added to the 16-man tournament that's going to happen at the end of once we finish up the brackets. If you lose, you nothing happens. And if you beat Balrog in that first round, which you won't, but you're going to get placed in the tournament, and your first match is going to be against Balrog, which sounds a little unfair, but believe me, it's a good idea to get him knocked out in the first round than to let him build steam. You want to get him early. So that's what we're going with here. Balrog will be, he lost to Barack Obama. Technically, Barack Obama lasted the full 5 minutes, so he's going to be in the 60-man tournament along with Andrew Martin Test, who is a former champion. He's going to be in the tournament as well because he beat Ip Man to get into it. So let's see who's going to be in the tournament, or who has a chance to get into the tournament. Hirai Kawato. Not seeing a whole lot of... Okay, I'm gonna be real with you, dude. I'm not gonna remember who this guy is. I'm gonna use, like, I barely ever use this. I'm going to veto him. And we're gonna go with Katsuya Kitamura. Also a young lion. What the fuck? Why am I getting young lions? Now, real quick, let me just make sure I can find Katsuya Kitamura. Because I'll be real with you, if I can't find him, I'm not doing it. He's not a New Japan guy, is he? Like, I recognize him, so he might be. Yeah, okay, cool. Your referee for this evening? Will be Dana White. Fitting. Remember, you only have to last 5 minutes to get into the tournament. However, if you beat him, man, that's going to look good. Man, Kitamura's very muscly. Very, very, very muscly. Balrog throwing some strikes in there. Kitamura now elbow knocking Balrog down. I don't think Balrog's been able to actually get any offense here on Kitamura. Kitamura's been taking Balrog down. Balrog starting to... Yeah, Kitamura's dodging all of Balrog's shots, which is impressive here. Yeah, look at that. He is just staying out of Balrog's reach. That's impressive. Kitamura now slamming Balrog down. Balrog has not gotten any offense in here. Kitamura knocking out Balrog here. Elbow to the head from Kitamura. Man, Balrog, after getting shown up by Barack Obama, really hasn't been not bringing his A game right now, which this is why he wants to do this, is so he can get tuner matches in, so he can keep fresh, because he was the second tournament champion, and he lost that in one defense, having. He didn't even get a defense in. I'm sorry. He lost it to Ip Man because he got too cocky. He went away. He came back. He then lost a test. Actually, yeah, no, he left after he lost the test. I apologize. Came back for the next tournament. A changed man. He kind of humbled himself a little bit more. We saw that in Ip Man Balrog 2, in which he won the rights to get invited to the 5th tournament. Ended up winning that. He still has not actually faced Tess in a rematch. Tess lost to the Megazord, to which Balrog defeated that in the finals. As they start throwing shots here, Kitamura is looking good. He only has like a minute and a half left. Balrog starting to get a lot more offense in Kitamura. Kitamura is definitely tired now, but still dodging a lot of it though. And Balrog really not up to his A game here as he gets a headlock takedown. Now, one thing to note, that Balrog has been wrestling like every week, which he's not normally used to doing. He normally, did one of these matches like once a month. As he hits a straight shot to Kitamura. Kitamura down. Oh, uppercut from Kitamura, or to Kitamura. Balrog, though, looking like he's going to get another loss here. Yeah, Kitamura now gets added to the tournament. Okay, thanks, Balrog. Shadowboxing, letting us know he's still the champ. Yeah, damn. Katsuya Kitamura. Okay, so we are going to see in the tournament, we're going to see Balrog, we're going to see Obama, we're going to see Test, and we're going to see Katsuya Kitamura. I'm going to randomize where they end up in the tournament, and then we'll probably randomize everyone else that's going to be in the tournament. I don't know if we're going to keep doing these Balrog things, just because, like, let me look and see here. How many more matches do we have in the T1 Clawmax before we go to the chapter end here? So we have another 4 weeks. No, we have another 8 weeks if I don't do special shows, which I think I will probably do these Saturday shows or Friday shows. They might not always fall on a Friday, but yeah, we can't do it to where we have fucking that long of a gap in between. So yeah, my name's been Totem Trouser. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you did, go ahead and subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're watching if you're watching the live stream, go ahead and follow me. If you want to watch the live stream, I do these at 10:15 every Wednesday, and I'm gonna probably pick up a second day just to get through this tournament. So I don't know when that's gonna be. You can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/totemtrouser, and I will tell you. But yeah, that's going to be it for me right now. I will talk to you guys later. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Goodbye.